I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to stop living in the higher realms and ground into reality. And I hope this isn't triggering to too many people. I know that if I heard this a couple years ago, or even maybe even a couple months ago, this would have triggered me insanely. But what I've realized is that this is the higher realm right here. There's nowhere to escape to. Hell exists now in this moment, and you can create your own hell. Heaven also exists in this moment now if you choose to perceive of it in this moment. Let's talk about that in this video. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because I do actually post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, the link will be down below. Now, the first thing that I want to share with you in this video is that the higher realms can actually be confused for the lower realms. What does that mean? Well, oftentimes when you're running off into the mind and you're just stuck in imagination, and I'm not saying that imagination isn't reality. We live in an imaginative world. This is a fantasy right here. Reality is imagination. Your perspective creates your reality. So keep that in mind as I'm saying this. And again, I know that sounds absolutely arrogant, but at some point it's like, wait a second, we create our reality. But at the same time though, I used to have this problem where my spiritual ego would really be attached to these higher realms, when in reality I was in a lower realm. It was a self-created resistance. See, when we're stuck in the mind, you think that sometimes you can be in a higher state of consciousness. But really, that's actually a lower state of consciousness, because the truth of the matter here is that when you can learn to really trust in yourself, who you really are, what you realize is that anything that you ever learned from your mind, you can take that wisdom, you can take those lessons, you can take those situations that you've been in, you can take those problems, you can take those challenges, you can take that suffering, you can take that pain, and you can use it for something. I believe suffering is a tool. I believe the mind is a tool. Yes, the mind can create suffering. Yes, the mind can create a lot of pain, but I believe that all these things are used, they can be used to help you to learn more of how to ground into the truth of reality. So all these spiritual concepts can be mental masturbation for some people. It's about learning to ground it into existence, ground it into who you really are, ground it into the reality, right? And take that imagination, take that mind, and actually ground it into reality. So my invitation to you, and I can never tell you what to do in these videos, nor do I ever really want to, but I want to give you the knowledge that can allow you to shift into that version of you that you truly want to be. So what I encourage and invite you to do, which is what I realized in my experience, is to disconnect from your mind. Again, the mind can be used to gain a certain trajectory, but what I encourage you to do is to disconnect from your mind and trust yourself. Trust yourself. You know, you are the higher reality. You are your higher self. So when you're trusting yourself, you realize that on some level of consciousness, you already went down or went up into the higher realms. Okay? And now you're remembering, oh yeah, you left a little breadcrumb trail for yourself based on how far you went last time, right? So what you're doing is you're learning to trust yourself here. And for me personally, when this happened, I realized that actually I am my higher self. No longer can I give away my responsibility to some idea. No longer can I give my responsibility away to a person. No longer can I give my responsibility away to a YouTube video, to a book, to something I read online, to all these different things that exist outside of me. Yes, don't think that I'm not humble enough to understand that I need to learn every single day, that I do not have all the answers. I don't know anything. The one thing that I know for sure out of everything that I've ever learned in my life is that I have no idea of anything. I don't know. The only thing that I know is that I'm right here, right now. And that I can use this moment and I can trust my deeper intelligence to go where I feel called to go. That's all I know. Anything I ever read in a book, that's the past. Anything that somebody ever told me, that's the past. I read that somewhere. Anything that is on a YouTube video, well, I don't see it already. Where's that video? I don't see it here. Where's the video? It doesn't exist. It happened in the past. So this present moment is always your highest intuition. Now, these things exist. They exist, but you choose not to perceive of them at different levels of consciousness. But the thing is, though, that all of those include this moment now as well. So it's this paradox here. But the higher realms are not meant to be something to escape into, right? When people say, like, oh, don't run into the light and eventually you're going to have to go into the dark. For me personally, you know what it was for me? I was running away into the dark. I was running away into the dark. That was where I was running away into. That wasn't the light. I was like, for me, it's really weird. I found comfort in trying to heal myself and facing the dark and doing the shadow. It became one big spiritual ego game. Leave a comment down below if you can relate to this. And so I was running away into the pain, into depression. You think that's crazy, right? You would think that you would want to just stay grounded and feel as comfortable as possible. No, I didn't do that. I was running away into the pain, running away into the darkness, and then I constructed an identity around that. Oh, I'm this noble being that can do the shadow work, and I'm a healer, right? And all these things, like, they exist, but they can become huge traps in my experience. So if this relates to you on any level, I'm not here to be a guru or a teacher or to come off as some know-it-all person. Again, I am always trying to communicate these things here in the least arrogant way possible, in a way that's going to communicate the truth to you that will help you in your life. But I highly encourage you to really sit with this concept of, are you running away into the dark and constructing an identity around that? Or are you willing to trust yourself? Think about it. How fearless would you have to be to stop running away into the dark and to ground into the light, into who you really are? That for me was the scariest thing that I ever did. But actually, no, it wasn't. It was the most fearless and effortless thing I ever did. The scary thing to do and the resistant thing to do was to keep doing the shadow work. Now, you know what's funny is that the shadow work and the resistance and the shadows, they all come up for me anyways, except I'm able to process them much faster. My presence is much powerful now. I'm more resilient. I have a powerful resilience with the way that I show up in the world. I'm able to maintain myself as consciousness. I'm able to maintain myself as an actual human being. Wait, what? Are those contradictions? No, they're not. I'm able to maintain myself as peace, as harmony, as this is heaven right here. I'm already in heaven. This is heaven. There's no more getting into heaven than where you are right now. Heaven is realizing that you are the higher being, that this is the higher realms right here. So there's nowhere to run into. This is the higher realm right here. And when you realize that, you will ground back into the truth of who you really are. And with that, I conclude this video.